Hey everybody, welcome back to our E3 2011 live show coverage. Sean McInnes here, taking the seat over from Ryan McDonald, and I am joined by Evan Wells, co-president of Naughty Dog, here to show us Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception. Evan, I don't imagine it's an easy task taking a game like Uncharted 2, a game that won probably more Game of the Year awards than you guys have room for in your trophy case, and trying to build a sequel out of that that's even better. So how do you approach a game like this?
Yeah, it is a really challenging task. I mean, we are our own harshest critics. So I think, the external pressure really is, minor compared to what we're putting on ourselves.
Yeah.
We always want to go in there and do the best job possible, raise the bar technologically, push the state-of-the-art narratively, and just create a really compelling experience.
All right, awesome. You guys actually brought along a demo of the game, so why don't we go ahead and get started here.
Okay.
Set the stage for us. Where does this take place in the campaign, and what's Uncharted, or what's Drake doing here on this boat?
Right, okay, so this is what we're calling the cruise ship level. So it's about halfway through the game, and I don't want to get into too much spoiler territory, so I won't give you all the details of exactly what he's looking for on this boat. But suffice to say, it's a cruise ship that's been taken over by a group of pirates. Okay. You're in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Yemen, and Drake's made his way to the Arabian Peninsula, looking for the Atlantis of the Sands, and he's sort of taking this detour off to try to find an item here and recover it.
Cool. All right. So let's talk about. Oops. Let's talk about the game, the way this game looks and feels, because it's always been sort of a hardware pusher for the PlayStation 3, definitely pushing that system to its limits. What sort of work have you guys been doing on from a visual perspective to make this game look even smoother? Yeah,
I mean, this level really, basically all of the technology that we put into the game, from a visual standpoint and from just a gameplay mechanic standpoint, is to emphasize our overarching goal for the franchise in general, which is to create an active cinematic experience. So this level really showcases a lot of that technology, from the water dynamics that we created, as well as the ability to put Drake and his enemies on these giant moving environments. So this cruise ship really is sitting on the ocean water that has these huge 100-foot waves. It's just tossing the thing around. And Drake and the pirates here are parented to this object that's moving around. He can climb and traverse and attack and be attacked, all while moving through this massive ocean.
I'm curious how you guys decide where you want to set the different chapters of the game, because it's such a globe-trotting story. Drake is always going everywhere across the globe. Do you throw darts in a map or something like that, or is it all part of a larger plan?
There's a lot of collaboration. I mean, Naughty Dog's a very collaborative company, and when we finished Uncharted 2, we all sat down and sort of looked at what we had done in our past games. The first game focused on the jungle and a lot of trees and whatnot, and then second game we went to the snow and ice up in the Himalayan mountains. So we thought what would be just visually different and still very much of a technological challenge to sink our teeth into. So we thought, well, let's go to the Arabian Peninsula and tackle the desert and sand, because of all the interesting properties that the sand has, and the environment around Europe and the Arabian Peninsula is very interesting and ripe for a lot of creative choices.
And should we still expect levels on the same scale as that E3 demo from 2009 with the crumbling building and the helicopter chase?
Yeah, I mean, the game is full of epic all over the place. So we've got another demo that we're giving sort of in our private theater over in the Sony booth that showcases another really, really cool environment. Some of it you got a little bit from the trailer that we showed last night as well.
So obviously we're seeing Drake here in a shootout. You want to talk to us about what you've done to the combat system?
Yeah, sure. So like I said, we made that combat system really work in all kinds of environments. So here you see that the hold is taking on some catastrophic damage, starting to fill with water. Drake can blind fire as he's running around. You can also aim and shoot. Hopefully, Carney here, who's demoing, will showcase some of the new melee moves too, where you've got finishers where you can steal your opponent's weapon. You can also get up there and do a grenade pull here, where he takes the pin off the grenade, kicks him away. Usually it's a good tactic to kick him into another opponent, take out a group of guys at once. Here we're showing off the dynamic water system as well. So now the water is completely sloshed. The boat is actually on the side now. Drake can swim above water, on the surface of water, as well as below water. He can actually engage in combat in the water, which works in multiplayer as well, so it creates some really cool opportunities.
All right, and just a reminder to our audience that you can send us questions to onthespot@gamespot.com or send us questions via Twitter directed to our @GameSpot account. Let's see, we're actually getting we're getting a number of questions from our audience here. Not all of them directly related to Uncharted 3. Some fans want to see Jak 4 or Crash Bandicoot.
Well, it would be great to work on Jak Daxter again. We're sort of all hands on deck just to get Uncharted done. But yeah, I still have a lot of love for that franchise, and it would be really fun to see Naughty Dog go back to it.
All right. We've got somebody, a guy pretending to be Buster Posey from San Francisco is wondering about story co-op. How is co-op implemented into the game?
Yeah, so multiplayer is a really big emphasis for us this time around, and co-op was a really popular mode for us in Uncharted 2, so we put a lot of attention to that. We've got a lot more co-op content than we had in Uncharted 2. It's not part of the campaign, the single-player campaign. It's completely separate, but we tell a lot of little mini narratives that are in this sort of alternate universe where the characters and the environments played in the single player aren't necessarily the same that you'll be playing in the cooperative adventure. And the interesting thing is that we did uniquely this time around is all of those little mini narratives kind of tie together in a loose fashion to tell an overarching story. And then we also have a really cool new mode called the Hunter mode, where it's cooperative, but you also get to play alongside AI. So it's 2 heroes taking on about 10 pirates, and 2 of those pirates are human controlled, and you don't know who they are. So it's a lot of fun.
Now you guys had I believe you had a multiplayer beta for Uncharted 2. Are you planning to do something similar for Uncharted 3?
Yes, we are. It's on June 28th it starts, early access for people who purchased Infamous 2 as well as PS Plus members. And then it opens up to everybody on July 4th, I think.
What sort of information are you looking to gather from that multiplayer beta?
Well, first of all, we just want everybody to get in and check out all our new multiplayer features, because we've been jamming it packed full of new modes, and we've got Facebook integration, we've got YouTube uploading, some really cool new features. So we want everybody to get their hands on that. We want to see how people engage with the new content. And then we also just do a ton of balancing. We take a look at all the boosters we've included, the power plays, the metal kickbacks, see which ones are being overused or sort of unbalance the game in bad ways, and so we'll go and we'll tweak all those values and make sure that when the game releases, everything is tuned to perfection. All
right. We've got an interesting question here from Cody Kodak from Dallas, who's wondering, were there any other title considerations before you settled on Drake's Deception?
We go through a list of hundreds and hundreds of names. Yeah, and it's one of the hardest processes ever, is actually coming up with a good name.
All right. So there you go, Cody. The answer is lots and lots of them. Probably way too many questions to reel off, or way too many titles to reel off here. So, obviously we saw the demo there as a nice lengthy demo. Any other sort of hidden gems from the game that you want to make sure the audience doesn't overlook? Anything else that bears mentioning?
Well, I think everyone should check out the trailer that we also put out yesterday, because you'll get to see a lot of interesting tidbits with the story that are peppered throughout that, as well as seeing a ton of the environments that you're going to go see, and as you're mentioning, globe-trotting around the world. So definitely check out the trailer for some clues as to where the adventure is going to take Drake.
Okay. All right. Well, Evan, I appreciate your time very much.
Yeah.
The game is looking fantastic. Definitely carrying on the tradition of excellence that you guys have established with this franchise. So I appreciate you coming by so much.
Thanks for your time.
All right, guys, that's your look at Uncharted 3. Now let's go take a look at what else is happening here at E3 2011.